Okay, everyone, how are you today? This is another installment of In My Greenhouse at Orchid Supply Store. So we're going to have some repotting today. So just ignore the old man in the corner. That's just someone that's sitting around. Okay, what I do every single time I get new orchids in, I bring them in and I repot them. I don't care what they're potted in or how they're potted. I open them up. I get all of the old bark off. If it has moss packed around the crown of the root, I get that off. If it has styrofoam, a lot of people like the styrofoam. I don't. I take it off just to get rid of it. And you will notice that I don't really take pains. You know, when you're repotting 50 orchids at one time, you can't take that much time. Okay, what I'm using is a combination of Orchiata bark, Rexus fir bark, and Mountain West orchid bark. For me, this seems to work well. Just 100% bark. I put it in, I pack it down, and as you see, I don't really take extra pains because I'm doing so many, I just can't do it. Okay, this one, and I lost the tag already. So this one is, see if you can see the name there. Okay, so that's one down and several to go. We go to the next one. We unpot it. We get rid of the old bark. And you can see I'm not being especially careful. Most people say do not disturb the roots. I just kind of stretch them out. I put a little bark in the bottom so that it doesn't sit all the way in the bottom. I get the roots in and pack it full. And I heard a rock hit, so in this bark there must be some rocks. So, you know, if it gets in there, fine and dandy. If I see it, I'll take it out. So again, no special pains. Just put it in, pack it down, and we're ready to go to the next one. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people's going to say, gee, Ken, don't do that. You've got to be careful with the roots. You know, if you're not careful, you're going to kill them. Well, you can look at the greenhouse and you can see I don't kill them any. Again, when you're doing this many, you can't take special pains. I just get rid of it. Okay, this one has that dreaded moss ball wrapped around the roots. I hate this. This comes from the nursery. They do that when the orchids are very young, and they do it because they're selling these primarily, you know, for retail. They go to Home Depot, they go to Lowe's, they go to mom and pop stores, and they put the moss ball on there so that it will retain water, because all of these places don't have a clue how to care for an orchid. So all the grower wants is for it to stay alive long enough to make a sale. Then you get it home and you're wondering, gee, what's wrong with my orchid? So what do most people do? They overcompensate. They figure if it doesn't look good, gee, it must need water. So they pour the water on, and for a day or so, maybe a week or so, the orchid looks okay. But then it just gets weaker and weaker and worse, and before long, it dies. So then you must think, well, I don't know how to care for an orchid, so I'm going to go buy another one, and we'll see how it survives. And that's exactly what the growers want. Yeah, they want you to buy more and more and never give up. Because sooner or later, you're going to make one live. Okay, so again, strip the roots. Get that dreaded moss off of the crown of the roots. And as you can see, I'm not being particularly careful. I just get a hold of it and I pull it out. And in the long run, your orchid will love you for it. It gets rid of that moss in the middle that keeps it too wet, so the roots are able to dry out the way that they should. And again, new pot, handful of bark, fill her up. Now, I'm not going to bore you with you watching every single one of these, so we'll speed it up, or we'll stop it, or we'll do something so that you don't have to watch each and every one of them, but we'll come back when it's all finished. So there's that one. Excess bark. Okay, through the magic of stop and start and restart videos, we're down to the last one. And again, stripped everything out, cleared off the old moss, put a handful in the bottom, handful of bark in the bottom, and then pack the sides. Not really taking extra care, just packing it, pushing it, and it seems to do okay. If you're doing this yourself, you'll probably do it a little bit more cautious, but then you're doing one, maybe two orchids. I'm doing 48 at a time. I generally get them in quantities of 48. So I do 48 at a time, rest an hour or so, come back and do another 48. Okay, so that's the last one. Yeah, it's in the pot. Here we have 10 newly repotted orchids. And did I show you the names of them? Okay, these are only 2 different kind. And hopefully that focuses. I'm not sure if it is or not. First one, and then the second one. Hopefully that's focusing also. So those are the 2 varieties that I'm doing here. Just 5 of each. But that's the way that I do it here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll do this again when I get some different ones. We'll do some vandas. We'll do some phalaenopsis. We'll do a little bit of everything. So if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, because we're going to do it again. And leave me a comment. Well, let me know what you think. So that's it for today. So long, and we'll see you next time.